We got Mifu, we got Camille coming in the next version of Endfield. We even have crazy endgames being released like the contingency contract mode that is bound to really test your account and skill. Depending on what you want to achieve, you may want to pick up these new characters or not, so which is why we have this video. I'll be going through a pre-release analysis of the kit, build, best teams, and everything in between to help you decide on who to go for. Hopefully it helps you out. Use the timestamps for convenience. Just real quick before we start, if you're looking to be spending money on the game anyways, I've got a pretty good deal for you. Introducing Loot Bar, which is a website I use often for literally just cheaper top-ups for games like Arknights and Endfield. The website's simple. It offers cheaper pricing for the same bundles in the game. You can check how much you're saving right beside the price tag. You actually could save a lot, up to 26% in total if you claim new user coupons using my link in the description. So it's just a deal that you don't want to miss out. Do not worry as well, because it's not too big of a hassle to set up. Simply click my link in the description, register an account if you don't have it yet, browse and choose any bundle, including even some custom ones that Loot Bar provides, complete the payment, choose self top up, log into your account. Now this is secured since it is set up as a one-time cloud device, so you don't gotta worry about that. You'll then see your account in-game on the browser, go to the store and click on the bundle you purchase. You'll be able to redeem it right away, and voila, you'll have your resources. Then simply log out, your data will be automatically cleared. Of course, you may have some doubts, but I do find Loot Bar 100% trustworthy, given I myself used it for the past year with no issues, and tons of other creators are using Loot Bar too. It has a high score in Trustpilot too, with thousands of good reviews from customers. Loot Bar is a pretty recognized name these days, and they even have official CD key sales among other services provided for a long time now. You can actually get up to 50% off plus cashback for popular Steam games like Arknights, so I genuinely don't think you gotta worry about Loot Bar. They've been around the block. If you're topping out anyway, why not give it a try? Use my link in the description, and yeah, you'll support me directly too. I appreciate that, and let's get back into the video. With that out the way, let's start by understanding the first raid-up banner that we'll see in the coming version, which will feature Mifu. To understand if you should pull for her, let's start by understanding her in a summary. Mifu is a physical guard that plays the role of a crush physical main damage dealer with high stagger in her attacks. She can apply physical susceptibility with her combo skill, which chains right into the crush effects via her skill. Mifu looks to be an upper replacement for Endmin and Japan in various physical teams, and even in Rossi mixed arts and physical team. So she will be a one to watch if you're playing those teams and want to push higher ceiling. Now then, let's dive deeper into Mifu's kit. Her main mechanic will revolve around her battle skill. You can use this battle skill in succession up to 3 times in one go. And let's start with the first battle skill. The first usage will perform Mifu's move 1, which actually returns 50 SP it seems from the livestream. Then it'll pull in nearby enemies and deal damage. If the enemies would be immovable, she'd pull herself into the enemy instead. After using this move, you will have a period of time where you can chain right into using your move 2 by clicking your battle skill again. If you do it, Mifu will now perform move 2. Do also note that this move 2 only costs 50 SP to use, half of the usual amount. This second move will attack the enemy and end by applying the crush effect, consuming vulnerability stacks while dealing crush damage. This means Mifu is designed as a crush damage dealer, obviously. If Mifu have consumed at least 3 vulnerability stacks with this crush effect, she'll have access to move 3 by clicking her battle skill one more time. If you click it, Mifu will perform her third move, which will deal a massive hit of damage to enemies in front of her, and this damage is actually considered as crush damage. Do note that this doesn't count as triggering crush, so it will not inflict or consume any vulnerability stacks. You just deal the damage as crush damage. This is pretty big, because think with Endmin, right? Usually with Endmin you need to get to like 4 vulnerability stacks, get rid of all of them with 1 crush effect, but now Mifu is here telling you she can kind of just do it twice, with one of the times not needing any vulnerability stacks. That could pretty much mean like double the crush damage, no? That sounds insane. This third move by Mifu will also only cost 50 SP, less than the typical skill. Moving up next, let's look at her combo skill. Mifu's combo skill will trigger when an enemy reaches 3 vulnerability stacks, and once you use it, this attack applies physical susceptibility to enemies hit. Not only that, your next battle skill will also be replaced with Mifu's move 2 skill, which is the one that applies crush. Based on her talent, she also gains a shield after using this combo, which increases resistance to interruption. This is a very underrated part about her kit, where in high pressure situations, especially in the coming new challenge modes, you might find this exact shield to be a lifesaver for you. From this, you can easily see how Mifu's designed. Get to 3 vulnerability, use her combo skill, chain it into her battle skill 2 and 3. Then you'll be able to deal massive crush damage, rinse and repeat. Up next will be Mifu's ultimate, which is also pretty interesting, where she'll forcibly lift the target into midair, then slam it down. This ult inflicts 1 stack of vulnerability, and Mifu's next battle skill is again replaced with move 2. This ult is also mentioned to deal high stagger against the enemy, making her actually awesome to go against tough boss fights. And with that That said, we can conclude that Mifu is a crush physical damage dealer, and you will be looking for a build with Art's intensity considering how she deals a lot of crush damage. She will perform well in multi-target scenarios immensely with the gathering effect of her first battle skill, and she still does well against bosses with her high staggering effects and anti-interruption. Really a well-rounded damage dealer. She will have a decent need for SP though, with her triple use skills and how she is designed to use her skill a bunch, especially after her combo skill and ultimate. Her best ally options will pretty much be either the pure physical team options, like using Mifu with some like Chen, Pogranishnik, Amber, Li Feng, depending on how aggressive you want it to be and what fights you're bringing them into. Mifu's ally will be landing the physical stacks, where Mifu will land Crush with her move 2, consuming all the stacks, while still getting a free crush damage on move 3, all while being beneficial to the whole team with her own physical susceptibility. A fairly perfect physical ally. The other best option for Mifu, which I do think will be her best, if not one of the best at least for her, will be using Mifu with the Rossi setup, featuring Mifu, Rossi, and the up-and-coming Camille, plus a support of your choice like Gilberto or Ardelia. We'll talk more about Camille later though, but just know that you can always use an Akikuri for this slot before getting him. This team specifically will see Mifu basically taking the spot of Enmin, and if you're already using this Rossi team of Enmin, you know how solid it feels, and it'll get even better with Mifu. Mifu's physical susceptibility aids Rossi somewhat, Rossi's art's consumption activates Camille, and Camille's buffs and debuffs helps the whole team generally while regenerating SP that Mifu will need. This whole synergy is awesome. To answer the question of should you pull Mifu though, it'll actually depend on your goal. I'll be honest, if you're just trying to beat Umbra on monuments and get the casual rewards even in the harder challenge modes, Enmin is more than enough since they do share a similar role in any teams. You're mainly just trying to land Crush, which, well, the admin can do that too. Now, if you're trying to get to peak performances, Mifu seems to be a very worthy choice to push the ceiling of physical teams farther. Same with Rossi teams too. The cool part about Endfield though is that I bet if you're good enough, you can still beat anything without the strongest team, just that you may be slower. But in any case, Mifu is an honest one. She doesn't hide much question marks. You pull her, you use her in most cases where you would use Enmin instead, and you spam your crush damage away. Her kit aids the physical playstyle in tandem. She has some self-protection with a shield, she has good stagger for bosses, and even gather for mobs. It's a valuable character that you will find solid into any scenarios. And that'll be all I have for Mifu. Now then, we do still have to look at Camille though, and I'll say it right away, Camille, Rossi, and Mifu does have great synergy on paper, so you might just want to snag both the new characters if you can, but I'll try and break down a few perspectives later anyway before you make your choice. To start with a summary of Camille, he's a heat element vanguard, and he plays the role of a team buffer, a debuffer, an SP generator, and still can be a decent damage dealer if you want him to be. You can see him as the higher replacement for Akikuri. They do share a ton of similarities, though there's parts where they're different. Similar to Akikuri, Camille is also able to apply heat infliction as well. Now what he does better definitively though is with his debuffs, which includes the weaken debuff that helps with boss fights and high pressure scenarios in general, plus he also lands the heat susceptibility debuff, something Akikuri doesn't provide. Now to jump deeper into his kit, we'll start with his battle skill. With this skill, Camille will summon a Fire Fang to fly towards the enemy, exploding for damage and applying heat infliction to a small area of targets. Only one single target will be applied with the weakened debuff and the heat susceptibility debuff, and because it's only for one target, they will have a lengthy duration. If this same target is hit by Camille's combo skill, it'll take an additional explosion damage, and if this same target is defeated, the Fire Fang will fly towards another nearby enemy, exploding again, applying the same debuffs again with heat infliction too. This looks to be more of a single target debuffing ability with a target switch mechanic upon defeating the target. The good news is, if everything goes perfectly, this debuff goes on every single mob and boss nearby exactly the way you would prefer. But if it goes not ideally though, this debuff might go onto a target you would rather not have it on yet, and it might not be the most smooth experience. Now you can change who it's on by reusing Camille's skill on another target though, but obviously that would take SP to use. As for his combo skill, Camille can trigger it when an enemy's heat infliction is consumed or absorbed. This means characters like Rossi or Levitane that can consume it will be ideal, or just most of any other arts characters that can trigger a reaction will trigger this combo skill as well, so there are actually quite some options for Camille if we're just talking about triggering the combo. Upon using this combo skill, Camille will attack the enemy and restore some SP. It's a way more consistent way to gain SP compared to someone like Akikuri, especially in boss fights. If Camille uses this combo skill on a target with the Fire Fang debuff, you will see the additional explosion damage, and you'll also provide a link buff for the team, which is again a much more consistent Akikuri link buff too. Now for Camille's ultimate, he will rain down with spears and perform a sweep attack. This attack will apply one stack of heat infliction, and it also restores some SP. After casting this, Camille will enter a temporary hunter pursuit state, which allows his next battle skill to be converted into an enhanced combo skill instead. This enhanced combo skill is treated as a combo skill, and it will attack the enemy with very cool animations, plus it will restore SP upon hit while granting the team link buff again. All of these suggest Camille to be a debuffing support character that specializes in providing link buffs and regenerate SP consistently, while landing very good debuffs for the team and still be able to get out great damage output since he has pretty much a fully offensive kit. It's just that all of his attacks have some sort of debuffs or buffs attached to them. This sounds pretty busted. This means you can mostly build him as a supportive character with energy regeneration just to smooth out his rotation best, or you might even consider using him as a good source of damage while doing all the stuff that he does. It will depend on his multipliers and your rotations to see how good that works, but in any case, his best teams will definitely look quite direct anyway. On paper, Camille's best allies will be the heat characters like Rossi and Levitain, which both can consume heat inflictions in order to trigger Camille's combo skill. Both of them also benefit fully from Camille's lengthy heat susceptibility debuff, and obviously the heat infliction helps. Camille will most likely take the spot of Akikuri in these teams, being able to provide much more value for heat characters like Levitain and Rossi. Since Camille regenerates SP, pretty much everybody likes that, and that includes Mifu that will take quite some SP to use on paper. And seeing that just so happens, the heat and physical playstyle is like the only playstyle where you can play the mixed arts and physical team at a good level, this would mean Mifu, bridged by Rossi into a Camille, can actually serve as a beautiful mixed team. Top that team off with say an Ardelia, you will have a team with heat susceptibility, physical susceptibility, arts and physical susceptibility by Ardelia, a heat damage main Camille, a physical damage main Mifu, mixed damage Rossi, and even a capable healer in Ardelia. Mifu can gather enemies, stagger strong bosses, while Camille regenerates SP for the whole team. Everybody helps out someone else in this team one way or another. Some helps the whole team, some helps one or two characters, and it's just a team that syncs with each other. Now, the problem with this sort of team will arise with SP specifically, since Ardelia does need some SP herself as well. Not exactly the cheapest team to use, but it could be incredible in longer, harder fights where you can't just spam your SP all the way. You gotta think about surviving and such, and you'll fully utilize the lengthier debuffs from most of the characters in this team. There'll also be other options like the classic Joberta in the support slot, which will more benefit the heat element side of things, which hey, it's more than welcome still. There are also fun ideas like using Camille as the main damage dealer, mostly as a consistent heat infliction reactor, playing him with a nature infliction team to deal high arts reaction damage. It is an idea shown in a live stream, but how consistent that can be will need more testing. And hey, follow along the channel to see that firsthand, where I'll be covering all that in early access soon. Now, to answer the question of should you pull Camille, this one's honestly hard because Camille and Mifu kind of share a similar idea where they replace older options in existing teams. Mifu replaces crush appliers like Enmin, and Camille will replace Akikuri doing most of what she can do. There's even the idea of potentially using both of them together in a Rossi team, but that will require Rossi in your account obviously. They aren't exactly ultra versatile outside of that, at least so far, but I will say Camille is definitely more versatile given his more supportive role. If you're not exactly standing Mifu and the physical playstyle, Camille is the best option among the two that won't let you down. Vice versa though, if you're not one to play most of the heat teams and Rossi teams, you can stick to Akikuri for that role, get Mifu to push your physical team more. If you somehow don't play heat and you don't play any physical teams, well, these two characters can be the first one for your new heat or physical teams, or you could just skip both, I guess, if all the teams you have works for you. Now, if you're a person of culture and you do own Rossi, you would potentially think of pulling both of the new characters since they may just combine to be great together. How good that will work out though will depend on numbers, and given how long it has been since Strong's banner has been up, you may have enough resources actually to think of pulling both the characters, so that is on the table. However though, consider this, are these two new characters must pull or you'll fall behind without them? I don't think that would be the case. None of the characters so far are really. That might change though depending on how hard contingency contract and some of the other game modes are with the coming version. So if you don't want to take any chances and you want to stay on top of the curve, you want to dominate everything perfectly, then you'll likely be wanting to pull both these new characters since they are generally just the premium limited replacement versions for some of the free characters we have existing right now. So you want to chase the ceiling, then you gotta pull for, you know, the ceiling. Now to look at potential future characters though, we have seen a couple of faces we've seen here and there in the story, in the live stream at least, including a newly teased sort of singer type character at the end. But one thing I will mention is this. Endfield has mentioned in the future version preview that in the near future version, the storyline will start getting more climactic, and that they're actually putting a lot more effort for that, meaning to say we might see some crazy strong characters in those coming near versions approaching the climax of the story for this arc. Obviously, we do expect strong characters to be released near the peak of the storyline. So based on that, you may just want to wait, which is why the best answer is to wait for more info, see how the numbers do for these 2 new characters, and see if there are any official announcements on potential future characters. That is if you're on the fence at least. If not though, just slam the poll, gang. Life is too short to be responsible about it. And that'll be all. Who will you be pulling for? Let me know in the comments, and I hope I helped you out. Take care.